Jesus took away all religious rituals. The only sacraments that are left for us to observe, that means an outward act of faith, is water baptism and breaking of bread. Water baptism only needs to be done once, and then breaking of bread, meaning some people call it communion, others call it Eucharist, the breaking of bread and drinking of the grape juice, showing his death until he comes. Now, breaking bread and drinking the wine is only relevant when you believe, and only relevant when you are believing what you're doing. It is the forgiveness of sin that it denotes, and also the bringing of the gift of righteousness and the new life of the kingdom. Why did Jesus die? When you break bread and drink wine, not did he die on a cross, but why, and what did it do, and what did it accomplish? This is the relevance of it, and God doesn't want any of us to operate outside of understanding. He wants us to know what we're doing. Any ritual, any repeated observance of breaking of bread, unless it's done with the knowledge of what you're doing, it's useless. The same as getting saved, and the same as water baptism. It's useless to you unless you know what you're doing. That's why we don't do it with children who don't have understanding of these things. Okay? The water isn't going to save you. It is the outward observance or confession that you do of the inward understanding and commitment that you've made in the Spirit to God. And so these things, the religious rituals, are over. God never wants you to do religious rituals again in any way, so that that you can get it properly and from the Lord. It is the Lord who's doing these things, and He wants it in spirit and in truth. He wants you to know what you're doing in spirit and in truth. He doesn't want you to do something just because somebody told you to do it. You're going to do it to Him. You're not going to do it for Him. You're going to do it to Him. He's a living being. He's a living entity, and He wants you to do that. You know, all foods are made clean now. Jesus said, the food that you put in your mouth isn't going to make you dirty. It isn't going to make you impure. It's what comes out of your mouth that makes you impure, not what goes into your mouth. What comes out of your mouth makes you impure. These are the things of God. Religious rituals are gone. The Old Testament is gone. You must not go back to the Old Testament times. Jesus Christ said, it is finished, and it is finished. Now the truths, or some of the truths of the Old Testament, are relevant today, but not all of them, and certainly not observing special foods and days. Okay, because these observances of special foods and days, okay, holy days, these are not of God. You see, when you can, the need to do it is not of God. Okay, if you want to honor God with your child and thank Him for your child, go ahead and do it. If you want to stand in front of the congregation and thank Him, great. If you want to commit yourself to bring up your child correctly, great. All these things are okay, but they're not needed. They're not necessary, and it's not necessary to have a holy day, even like Easter or Christmas. These things are men's traditions, not God's. You honor God with your heart. You honor God with your trust and your faith. You do not honor God without observances. Everything is finished. No more foods, special foods. Everything is now of the Spirit, not of the body. Remember that. All religious rituals outside of faith in God are no longer acceptable to God as a sacrifice. God bless.